Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Global Master Toy Review. And today's review we're looking at the 2009 release by Hasbro of the X-Men Origins Wolverine action figure review. And today's action figure review we're looking at Deadpool with the missile cannon. Now I got this straight from a local scalper shop near my area for 60 ringgit. I missed out on collecting Deadpool the first time around when they first came out in a single carded version, because the moment it came out everyone wants to buy it, and when the Deadpool with the missile cannon came out everyone wants to buy it. And then it turns out that a lot of toy shops tend to hoard the toys, and the one near my area started to sell a whole bunch of these at that kind of pricing, 60 ringgit there. So well, I was lucky enough to stumble upon this and immediately buy it. So at the front part of the packaging, top part of the packaging, you'll notice there's Hugh Jackman Wolverine there, and at the packaging itself you got Deadpool holding two katanas, and next to him is the two missiles, and taking most of the space is the double missile launcher cannon there, humongously huge. Now at the back of the packaging itself you get to see the fully displayed Deadpool with the double missile cannon there, stated here as the firing double missile blast. Very interesting enough. Now the write-up is also quite interesting and humorous at the same time. Only a guy as crazy as Deadpool would even think to bring a weapon like this to a fight. Is in his nature to escalate things. If his opponent pulls out a knife, he pulls out his sword. When he sees someone draws a pistol, he somehow gets his hands on a howitzer. And if the guy he's fighting has a missile launcher, well, so does he, but he fires two missiles. Quite interesting and befitting on the character itself, considering that he's that crazy enough to get something that humongous. Now at the bottom is the rest of the lineup. Weapon X with stasis chamber, Blob and Sabretooth, and Logan with motorcycle. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back of the removed figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now inside the packaging I was quite surprised to find out there's a small little instruction manual on how to assemble the missile cannon. Actually it comes with a main body and two side missiles. So basically you have the main body and the two side missiles. All you have to do is just plug it on the side and there you go. Now it also instructs you on how to place the figure in there and load the missiles and how to fire them, which is very simplistic. They could have just done it straight at the back of the packaging. Not too sure why they have to do a instruction manual for it. Now let's take a look at the missile cannon there. The missile cannon is a humongous thing. Not too sure why they gave him a missile cannon and rather not like a vehicle or something else, but it still suits him. And you have a lot of nice little details for this entire thing. You got a lot of vent covers there, a lot of missile ports, even the front part of the missile ports itself, even the targeter there. Very nicely done. And the majority of the entire thing is, well, have very little paint job. Let's say that the green targeter is actually painted and the black piece here is actually painted. The rest of the stuff is just plastic. Now, funny thing about this entire thing is it actually has articulation. Now, due to the size of it, if Deadpool is a single person and he's using this to shoot anyone, he wouldn't be able to wield this entire thing, not without the help of this pair of, well, robotic horse legs. Yes, there are horse legs. If you think of, well, when you look at it this way, it does look like a pair of horse legs. So he will use this horse legs to actually stabilize the weight of the entire missile cannon here. And when you place the Deadpool figure inside, there are two joysticks for Deadpool to hold on to, and his head will pop out here. He can use, there's another articulated joint here. As you can see, you can use the scope for Deadpool to aim at and fire his enemies. As you can see, there's a bit of articulation there. Speaking of firing the missiles, there's the two missiles there, and we will load them until you can hear a click, and the buttons are this two section here. You can fire once, one at a time, or You can fire both at the same time, like so. Nice little thing, but I'm not going to post the Deadpool figure with that humongous thing. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Now the Deadpool figure is absolutely very nice. Not a lot of paint details because he's just wearing a black and red costume, and the eyes is painted in white. The accessory, however, is a little bit more in detail. Of course, you can't actually remove the accessory. There's no button for you to remove, so it's permanently on the figure itself unless you find a way to, cut it off. Now the chest piece here is painted in a very shiny red, and then you got the straps painted in silver, and his belt is trademark belt with the Deadpool face, very nicely painted with the 2 white eyes there. The pouches are painted in brown. You got pouches on the tires as well. At the back you got the sword sheaths to store his katanas in, and then there's your katanas here. Too bad they don't give him a pair of guns, but I have plenty of G.I. Joe extra weapons which he can wield, so I have no problem with that. You got 2 katanas. As you can see, they're a bit warped. He can wield the katanas after I fix the hands. Yes, there's a bit of a problem with the figure's hands because they were a bit too widened up, so I have to use the hot water technique to dip it for a few seconds and then try to enclose the huge gap a little bit more so he can wield the swords a bit more better. The swords, however, are all deformed a little bit, so I have to fix them as well. Otherwise, the entire paint job is very nice. The accessory for the belt is very nice as well. The swords is a nice touch. I really wish there's machine guns for him, but you already have the double missile cannon there. So now let's take a look at the figure sculpt. The sculpt is all new stuff, very nicely done and very nicely sculpted. The entire head is very nice, despite that it's wearing a simple mask, but at the back portion of the head, due to the hood itself, it shows that there's a pointy end hood there. Very nicely done, just like in the comics too. Muscle details are all shown, as you can see now. Very nicely done too. Even at the back of these legs there, the lower legs there, you get to see more muscle details there. Very nicely done. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now the head actually can show 360 degrees, cannot pivot up and down though. Torso, despite with all the accessories on, can, well, swivel 360 degrees and go forward a little bit and back a little bit, which is kind of interesting despite that he has this thing on his body. Shoulders here can turn 360 degrees and raise the arms this far. The elbow joint here can bend this far and bend backwards. Wrist joint here turn 360 degrees. Now the hip joint is an interesting hip joint. It actually has a ball joint where the pegs is aligned upwards instead, just like how Iron Man 2 figures are. So basically you have to turn the entire ball joint, and then you have a swivel tie there. You have to turn it around just to, well, have the leg turn forward or go to the sideways or whichever direction that you want to do. But the legs can actually, well, bend this far, which is very nice. The entire hips there, there's no restriction to or hindrance for him to do some dynamic poses because this is Deadpool there. You got a double jointed knee that actually bend really far, which is very good. However, the elbow joint here, both elbow joints don't actually bend really far. The ankle joint that bends down, up, and then 360 degrees. Overall, I really like the Deadpool figure. That one, I have mixed feelings because I actually don't want to post the missile cannon with Deadpool here. Deadpool is a very nice figure. Too bad they don't actually give him machine guns. Maybe the single carded will, because I never owned the single carded version. The missile launcher is a nice touch for kids and interesting, humorous right up at the back there. So yes, it fits Deadpool very well. So if I'm gonna give a rating of this, I would say Deadpool deserves a 9 out of 10. Despite that he has some problems with his hands, but you can actually easily fix them. If you're children, of course, you have to get your parents' permission or get your some adults to help you do the hot water trick, which I'm not going to teach you how, because you might end up doing it by yourself and not without an adult looking out for you. The entire missile launcher here is a nice little touch, but nothing too overtly interesting, so I'll give it a nice little 6 out of 10 there. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.